I'm Deep Mahaman and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Beautiful. Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. I'm here with Kenny McCallum, Head of Product Marketing at Warrior Football. Kenny, pleasure to have you in the studio.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Excellent. Obviously, the news sort of broke unofficially about the Warrior deal sort of almost this time last year, but now it's all official. Warrior are now officially the Liverpool kit makers, kit manufacturers. But as a company, Warrior perhaps not as well known over this side of the pond as they are over in America. Can you sort of tell our viewers a little bit more about the company as a whole?
Sure thing. Well, I think first things first. Yes, it was the worst kept secret. I think it was almost revealed 2 or 3 months before we were officially allowed to say anything. But now it's all out in the open, so that's all brilliant. But the business and the brand started in 1992. The now president and very much central to the brand, chap called Dave Morrow, and he is was, should I say, a world-class lacrosse player at the time, and was not happy with the product that was being supplied into the world of lacrosse. So Dave basically went away, took the opportunity to say, I can probably do better, and brought new product into the game of lacrosse that he used, and then he subsequently gave to players that he knew. And the brand kind of started from there, the introduction of titanium shaft sticks and new technology that kind of changed the game of lacrosse. Yeah. And that is how the brand grew so quickly in the world of lacrosse. It was very different, it was new, it gave something different to players, and from there he started the Warrior business, and it expanded to the stage where New Balance, who own the brand, bought it in the early 2004. And things have progressed from there. Expansion into ice hockey followed, and more recently, as you know, the world of football or soccer, depending on which part of the world you're in.
Yeah, definitely. Well, obviously, as you said, they've now broken into the world of football. I mean, where does this sort of decision come from? Is it that they feel they've done enough, they wanted to take on, and it was time to take on a new sport, or?
Yeah, more or less. Take the world by storm. I think in team sport particularly. So the strategy of the business was look at the sporting market, look at team sports, and look at it on a global basis. And it doesn't take you much time to realise that football is the world's biggest team sport, and so it was quite a simple decision, and it was simply that, and at that point in time the brand and the business made the decision to get into football.
Obviously, again, we go back to the sort of the worst best kept secrets and all that kind of stuff. The deal between Liverpool and Warrior is reportedly one of the biggest in football at the minute. I mean, is that a sort of a signal of intent from Warrior Football?
Absolutely. The brand doesn't mess around. That's one thing. One thing you'll see over a period of time. You know, make decisions, very serious about them, and push on and progress. So it's an aggressive strategy. As a brand, we'll be as aggressive as we can within the confines of the world of football. The intent is to go beyond the Liverpool deal. This is an absolute coup on the brand's part. You don't see these kind of things happening. You see normally, established clubs with established brands. So this is a break from the norm, a great signal for the business, and you'll see over the course of the next 6 to 8 months announcements relating to other teams. We've recently signed up with Craig Bellamy on a footwear deal, so Craig will start to wear the footwear through the course of next season as well. So you'll see that come into the market later on this year.
We saw him in Singapore recently, didn't we? Kicking footies onto a boat.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much practice he had beforehand. The set build was from the midnight before, but shows the reach of the club. First and foremost, there was about 5,000 fans in and around the Singapore area, the Fullerton Hotel, and if you jump on various kind of websites and stuff, and you'll see some of the coverage. It was fantastic. So it was a great event to launch the kit. And because he managed to do it as well.
He
did. He managed. I think he hit. I think it was 5 out of 10.
Not bad,
which is not a bad ratio. Yeah, I wouldn't fancy my chances at beating it, that's for sure.
Obviously, again, we've talked about there was mass speculation. Obviously, once the deal leaked, obviously Liverpool fans desperately scrabbling around for any information on what Warrior do, what the kits might look like. Now, obviously, with the basis in lacrosse and hockey, I think people saw a lot of the designs there and were a bit sort of like taken aback. Oh wow! But obviously, when the home kit was unveiled, it's quite a radical departure in some ways from what you might consider the Warrior style.
Yeah, fair. I think fair. I think the brand and the business, the whole idea behind delivering product is to empower athletes in whatever sport to perform. So it's about giving them the tools that allow them to think about nothing else but winning. So that is what we aim to do. In certain respects, there are aspects to it. You look at the kind of performance of the athlete within that particular sport. So there are differences between products. The sport of lacrosse is fundamentally different to football. But in terms of the audiences, you've got to look at the audience. If we'd have launched with branded product only, it'd have been a different launch first and foremost, but then we'd have got into a partnership with Liverpool afterwards. But Liverpool came first, and as a result of that, you've got to look at the consumer, who the intended consumer is, and build your product stories out from that point. So you've got to consider firstly the players, because they wear it on the pitch, and winning is the key aspect for everybody, including fans. And then you've got to look at what the fans' needs are, and look at the elements of the club that influence how you come up with a product.
It's just all well and good, chainmail might be in this season, but not the most practical on the pitch.
It won't deliver pace down the wing, I don't think, or swords for strikers up front as well. I don't think it's in the guidelines, that one.
Let's see FIFA handle that. So obviously, were there any strict stipulations from the club? Did they, when you were given your initial sort of design brief or whatever, I mean, how would that work?
It doesn't. There's a lot goes on in the background that many fans, just general public will not realise. Everything from the design stage through development, get to the point of manufacture. You've got to then deliver on time, get the kit to various places around the world, and you've got a lot of key stages within there. It's about rather than stipulations, it's about kind of conversation and kind of partnership. We've got to understand the needs of the players and the club, and we do that through access to the kit men and to the players themselves. There's of course the kind of retail side and the fans' wants and needs, and there are different ways of kind of finding things out. I mean, as you mentioned before, the blog sites and commentary on the internet was rife with all sorts of kind of views. So there's not specifically stipulations. We come from a design agenda point of view and build out what we think is the right story for the brand and for Liverpool in that particular season. We'll present that. The club will come back and give us feedback. Things may change, and that starts at design. You then got to get to a sampling stage, and you physically see something, and at that point we'll make changes because we won't be happy, and again the club will have a view on that. So
it's not a case of you sort of want to go away, go right, this is the design, this is the shirt, get on with it.
It's not, no, absolutely not. I mean, it's not a case of shut the doors for 18 months and come out with a kit. We consult, and we have continual conversations, and in addition to that, there are kit guidelines that you have to follow in relation to playing in Europe through UEFA competitions, and there are other things with the Premier League and the FA, so you've got to actually consult those guys as well in advance of the product reaching the market.
Is that things like the Premier League patches, or
mixture of things like patches, but also like elements of design and where you place things and how big crests are, how big your logo is in comparison. It's trust me, it can send you to sleep in about 20 minutes if you get a copy of the guidelines, so I wouldn't recommend you read it.
Excellent.